What's going on, everybody? This is an episode from the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast. Do you like podcasts and you want to see the full podcast? Make sure you check out the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast on all your podcast platforms, such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, among many others. But you're listening to the episode right here on YouTube, so make sure you hit that like button and below, and make sure you hit the subscribe button to NC Studios and NC Level Up for all your gaming needs. This is the Nerd Coalition. Enjoy the show. For Wrestle Talk. My apologies, y'all. They had an article of the transcript of what was said at the press conference, and one of the things that we talked about, somebody brought up the question about, hey, where's Jade Cargill? Before we get deeply into this, can I just say one thing? Y'all have heard the previous podcast. I'll be honest with you, I can't remember if Quadro was on any of them and heard them, but me and Prime have been going back and forth about Jade Cargill. There is proof up there. You can even look at the Jade Cargill videos that we did snippets of the podcast on, where Prime is like, she's a big star, she comes to the main roster. And I've said she needs to go to NXT. That's what Jade needs to do. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't just put her in the main roster. Even when I said that, I've had in the comments of those videos, subscribers and people say that she can work with Charlotte and she can work with Bianca, and that's some of the best teaching right there. And we can have a Bianca and Jade at WrestleMania, or Jade and Charlotte, or Jade can come to War Games, and I'm sitting there thinking, like, what are y'all talking about? Have y'all not seen Jade in AEW? She was given the Goldberg treatment. Jade is athletic. Jade is beautiful. Jade has the star look. But Jade is green. And I do think a lot of times that people was looking at her matches and it was like, they're serviceable enough. And I'm just like, yeah, serviceable enough. But you got to understand that WWE, the woman they got over there, is elite. No pun intended. Charlotte, Becky, Bayley, Bianca, all of them over there, she can't hang with them. I'm sorry, Sky Blue. I'm sorry, Chris Statlander. And like I said, don't get me wrong, these some decent women too. I'm sorry, Red Velvet. I'm sorry, Layla Hurt. I'm just saying, Jade was made to just destroy them and make sure she don't kill herself.
Well, look, allow me to say something, because I did hear you say some of that. I did not think the way that they were developing and pushing Jade to the front that she would end up in an NXT. It did not feel like that was going to happen to me. It felt like they put too much stock in her, and that's why I felt she was going to come up straight to the main roster.
And like I said before, like saying all of that, I understand about the stock, but why can't you still be in NXT and do the main roster appearances? That's what I don't know why nobody's understanding that. Because I'm like, Dom is doing it right now. As a North American champion, he's been doing it. The man got 2 storylines going on 2 different shows. That's the truth. So, the reason why I bring up all this is because when Trish asked that question, he answered the question, and I was like, I told you. Because Trish gave the very, very PC answer to she's green as goo shit. Let me read it for you. It says here, about, somebody asked about a question about Jade Cargill, and this is what Triple H had to say. And I quote, this is from Wrestle Talk. I have no less belief in her now than I did when she signed with WWE. It's interesting, when she came in, we talked about her development and where she would land. I want to make sure whatever is thrown at Jade, she's ready. And at no fault of her own, I think she was limited in that, right? The idea is we expose her and made her be seen. People are understanding and waiting, and they're excited for her to come, and when she does, it's going to be massive. I just think we're just making sure that she's ready. I don't want a pitch to get thrown at her that she's never seen before. I want, no matter what that pitch is like, for her to crack that thing out the park. You can just see it in her. That's the presence she has. That's the star she is. You've yet to see her do anything in WWE, and yet I could probably name 5, 10 people here where you go, well, that's a dream match without her doing a thing. So I'm in no rush. Right there, Triple H basically gave you the PC answer of they did not teach her shit in AEW. She's green as goose shit, and she ain't ready to be out there with these women. Isn't that what I said?
So look, let's just answer your question first.
Okay.
Yes. 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 Everybody get this man his flowers. Make a couple of them roses. He was correct.
I was getting castrated because that's what I was saying. It wasn't nothing against Jade or them, but I was like, but this company don't work like Tony Khan do. They're like, whoa, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like somebody go ahead.
I think a lot of people are going to take this another way and take it as a personal attack against AEW and talk it and saying they don't develop nor train people properly, and that's going to have a negative effect. But that don't make H wrong. You know? Yeah. Even if you want to look at it another way, that doesn't make what he say hurt any less. It's still true.
You're right.
And like you said, you can look back at her matches, and guess what? She was pushed as a goddess. But you kind of hit the nail on the head. She got the Goldberg treatment. And look, I'm not on his job. Like, I'm sorry, he's right. I don't want him to be right. Trust me, please. If there's anybody that want Mr. A&E to be wrong, it's me. I argue him down daily on everyday life. But he's right here, and she's not ready. And it would be so negative for her to come out and look so trash at the beginning. It would destroy her. If she came out and looked garbage from the rip, it would destroy her.
Uh-huh.
But with all that being said, so let's establish she's not ready. You're right. H is right. Is she ready by the show of shows for anything?
Are you asking or you making a statement?
I'm asking. Because how you got a good bullet. Do you sit on how long you sit on it? And I know a typical answer could be till it's ready. But then the answer is, well, what much more does she have to do till she's ready? And I feel like a big problem is we don't know 100%. We just know she's not ready. Because something else Triple H did say in that, when she says I'm ready, then I'm ready for her.
Yes, and you know what's funny? Jade actually responded. Jade actually responded to what Triple H said.
Oh, I didn't know nothing about the response. Please enlighten me.
She put out a tweet, and it was very simple because, and it's also kind of in character because you got to keep the character going. She says, also, like I said, it's on my time. That's what she tweeted out after that press conference. Or actually, what's today? Yesterday. So, honestly, it's in character, but it's a smart way of keeping her, like, her momentum going type thing, because it basically, without them just saying you suck. Okay, and I appreciate them wanting to take their time with Jade Cargill. Why would you rush that? Don't rush that. You don't need to rush a star like that because it's not going to work out in the long run. You need to take your time and mold her. And I think a lot of people keep forgetting that a lot of times when different wrestlers come over, the WWE is a different animal than any other wrestling promotion. You have to almost relearn. Seth Rollins has talked about this. And AEW has a lot of money. They are the number 2. They have, they have done impossible things that wrestling promotion that's been around for 20 years, Impact, they can't even do in 4 years that Impact can't even do in 20 years. So Tony Khan gets his props, but however, when it comes to developing talent and when it comes to trying to understand that it's more than just about making sure you don't botch in the ring. It's about, can you handle the pressure of the crowd? Can you handle a face and a heel change? Do you know how to be heelish? And this is the one of the things that the problem with AEW that I have is that every match feels the same on certain things to the point where, like, Christian went over there and is being an excellent heel.
Mm-hmm.
And he's helping work with them to show them, like, this is how you be heelish, okay? And I'm like, all right, you got to learn how to work that way. You got to learn how to work a certain style. And you know where the hard cam is at, know how to, your character. Maybe let's see what your promo skills is like. You got to talk. And maybe they were taken aback by it. It's a possibility that when they saw what she was doing and they took her back, they was like, damn, she sucked. There's a possibility that when Triple H and Shawn Michaels was watching her in the Performance Center and they was like, oh shit, she is not that good. And we got some work to do. But we got her. But her on TV, like, she ain't been saying nothing. She just been on TV and they keep everybody like, hey, Jade is here. I honestly think that she's going to get a sniff of it at the Royal Rumble. I think come the Royal Rumble, she'll come out. She'll showcase, because right now she's been working already for about a month or 2. And then you got an additional almost 2 months again to work. So it's like, okay, you can service up enough work in that time to just go in the Royal Rumble. You ain't gonna win the damn thing. You're probably not even gonna be in there for more than 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. And when you have those kind of women in there, like think of it like this: in AEW, Jade hasn't even been really tossed over the top rope before. Jade has never really been dominated before because they had nobody in AEW like her. But
I think the most. I was going to say, I feel like the most drawn-out match I ever seen her in AEW, honestly, was her last match with Chris Statlander. That's the most I've ever seen her out of her. Every match outside that, 3-minute max? To be honest, not to be trolled. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I mean, she gonna have a presence, but when you in there, then you got Raquel Rodriguez, you got Nia Jax, even though I think like Nia Jax needs some help too. Bianca Belair, Charlotte. You got these women in here that is just like can almost like square with the men on certain occasions. You know what I'm saying? And by wrestling technique, I ain't talking about because people want to get all in their feelings about stuff like that. I'm talking about this wrestling technique of what these people can do.
Pretty much, at the end of the day, she ain't gonna go out there till she had this match with Natalya first. We all know Natalya is the gatekeeper for women, and she put that finishing touch on you because she's been doing this forever. This is her job, and she does it well.
Yeah, but even with that being said, I still think that she goes out there at the Rumble. She's not going to be 30. She's not going to be 1. But Jay can come in at 15. She can come in, get, trim the fat of getting, getting the women that's not really over, like Indy Hartwell, Candice LeRae, Tegan Knox. You get them out, right? And then, then you can tease something. You can tease her and Bianca with a stare down. But then everybody can be like, well, Bianca and Jada and Mania, you can do something like that, but then you can just you can knock her out and get her eliminated, and it'd be like, okay, she came in there, showed what she had, and then or all the ladies jump her and they toss her out just to see the level of where she's at, and then it's like, okay, Let her keep working. And then I do think that the Raw after Mania is when JADE CARGILL comes. Do I want it to be that long? No, I love Jade. But I truly think that if they really want to work with her, I think she has an appearance in the Rumble. And I think, she has more sporadic appearances. Me personally, I would like for her to be in the Rumble, and they did decide where they want her to go. And I think it should be NXT. And I think that she can sit there and just go dominate the stuff in NXT.
You know what?
Give her the championship in NXT, and you can have her on all the shows. Like Tiffany Stratton was on Raw at one point. I'm just saying because you put Dragon Lee up there, so you can still put her on these other shows because y'all don't give a fuck about this brand split. And you can still do it that way.
As I reflect upon it and look at some of the women that's in NXT right now, Roxy could be a great match. Tiffany Stratton could be a great match. And like you said, there's certain women from NXT up on the main roster that still needs a lot of development. Ivy Niles. We still got to find a direction for the other three women you just named, Candice, Cindy, and Tegan.
Lord, Ivy. I'm sitting there going through my head. Like, I'm trying to remember who fuck Ivy. Oh yeah, okay, I got it now. Creed Brothers.
What, you ain't see the big match on Raw in that tag team match when I see her and I can't remember her name from Max Dupree's sister, Maxine Dupree. There we go. See how bad that was?
Yeah.
See how bad that was? Them two as a tag team now in this American Alpha Diamond Mine hybrid. We still got people that need work. So she could go down there and work for a minute. You're not wrong. You do make some sense.
Yeah, it's not an insult. Not trying to be insulting. I want Jade to come back. Shit, if she was ready, I'm like shit. She could have been in more games and she could have did all this stuff like that. I would love to see her versus Bianca. I would love to see her versus Becky, Charlotte, Rhea. There's so many people. I'm just happy to have another sister in the ring. Okay, so I'm happy for all that, but I don't want my sister going out there and embarrassing or exposing herself. Because that's a lot of mistakes a lot of times they do in wrestling. I'm not just going to blame AEW, WWE, or TNA. They do this a lot of times. And we get caught up in it now that we got the star over here. And people got to understand that the way that different wrestling companies operate, you have to learn that style. Chris Jericho said it the best when he came in from WCW in 99 when he had his match with X-Pac. He said, my God, the style, the way, the formatting, the way the matches over here is different than it is in WCW. And us as the fans, we're just looking at it as like, okay, it's a match. There's a drop kick, there's an arm drag, stuff like that. But we ain't really paying attention to the mechanics and the behind the scenes stuff of that produced match. And WWE has a way of doing things. Like WWE's way a lot of times for their baby faces is to have the strong opening, take heat, rise at the end, back forth, finish. That's how now go back and look at a lot of their big babyface matches. That's how it operates.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they do things. When you looking at AEW, when it comes to a babyface and a heel, they're pretty much even. Big move, big move, big move, big move, and sometimes unnecessary kickouts. That happens a lot of times in AEW.
It almost sounds as if when it comes to WWE, not only they invented the wheel, they made a way for it to not stop rolling. Whereas when you have these other companies, they're trying to reinvent the wheel when the honest answer is the wheel's good enough.
So sometimes, hey, I'm not gonna sit and say sometimes WWE's issues with their match producing and setup is like, okay, bro, like, can we switch it up, please? You know what I'm saying? A little bit. And then there's sometimes where it's just like, nah.
We did have 117 schoolboys in 1 year, and it was like, all right, look, guys, we going in Smackdown on a surprise roll up every week now.
Yeah, Exactly. So it was like, okay, I'm kind of tired of this format. But then when you go over to AEW, I was like, okay, I didn't still enjoy it. But then once again, do you know why blood is not special anymore in AEW? Because they damn near bleed every week. You know why
I
certain
know.
things are impactful when you hit them and special moves? Because a lot of finishers over there are unprotected almost every week. And and Tony Khan being a marketing fan of wrestling, he wants to see all that stuff. But I'm like, but to me, a lot of times it's not great storytelling. Or when you see crazy, like when they had the blood and guts match, and Moxley had to pull out a bit of spikes because everything else has been used already by up to that time. And I'm just like, yo, you can space it out a little bit so certain things can feel kind of special, even when it comes to the match. Sometimes on TV matches, they go 0 to 100. I'm like, you could say that for the pay-per-view.
I have, honestly, and this is me watching Rampage, because you know I watch Rampage.
Yeah.
They might have had a triple threat match between 3 luchadors, and I looked at that, John, and I was like, this should be main eventing something. There's no way this should have been the opening match for Rampage. It set the card off to such a high, as fans know that have played the wrestling game. If you don't build your card right, you will lose GM mode, and that's what it feels like.
Yeah. Which, by the way, along with you trying World Cup, you can always come and play 2K23. It's still a good game. There's
so many things that you got that I have to play. Yeah. I am so jealous of your video game collection. Let's just say I hate you right now. Okay? just put it out there. You out here buying games and groceries. I can only do one. Jesus. A&E. Almost. Listen, don't make me curse you out on pod.
Okay. Fair enough. I'll keep it to a minimum. Yeah, but no, it's like, okay. After I had the gloating moment, to be honest with you guys, yes, I love Jade. I want to see her succeed, but she does need work. And I'm not going to start booking dream matches and all sorts of. I mean, honestly, with the way things are going, like I said, I can see her in the Rumble. I don't see her. I don't really at this time see her having a marquee match at Mania. Would I like her to? I let her go to Philly and see JADE CARGILL? Absolutely. Hell, I'm kind of hoping she had Wale Mania, to be honest with you. So
I don't want to see someone that attractive in real life. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm not sorry. I mean exactly what I said. That'd be like me seeing Salma Hayek walk down the street. I don't know what I am capable of in those moments, and I don't need to find out.
I'm in distance. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, no, guys, we're just playing here. But however, I'm just saying that I really am a fan of JADE CARGILL. Hell, if y'all watch my AEW reviews, all I'm talking about is the baddies. I miss the baddies. Mm-hmm. When they had oh my luscious, when they had Red Velvet and they had Hogan, what's the first name?
Brooke Hogan? No, not Brooke Hogan. Not Brooke Hogan.
Oh, I said the best.
Kira
Hogan, yeah.
Excuse me. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. And she was the blue, and Red Velvet was the red, and Jay was in there. I was just like, oh, and they were sitting there looking sexy everywhere. Oh, the baddie section, I was that was getting over. I was hyped for it. I was mad when they Layla Gray, ew, and they just sat there and broke them all up, and they just made Red Velvet turn for no reason, and they just had Kara Hogan just get kicked out for no reason. I'm just like, no, I enjoyed the baddies, and I missed that. I'm like, I want her to come create some new baddies. You can come get Lash Legend and Miss Jackson off of Noam Dar's arm and put them with Jade. Woo! I'm just saying. And same thing with Lash Legend. I was like, hey, Lash Legend seems, kind of cool back then, but I was like, but she ain't ready yet. And now she's developing, gotten better. It takes time.
This is just very straightforward. I enjoy Lash Legend. I need her to have gear that's maybe a little bit more baggy. It's distracting me from the match.
I see. You say.
I do it. I'm just sitting there like, I am wrong. I can admit my faults, and that was one of them.
Yeah, I understand that. So yeah, I'm just saying. So yeah, take your time with a WWE.